Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly for pricing at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a limited edition of 30 pieces in grade 5 titanium launched in 2012. This is the Gronefeld One Hertz Classic Limited Edition. So the watch is 43 millimeters in diameter, 13.1 millimeters thick, and from lug to lug, 51.8 millimeters and 22 millimeters is the spacing between the lugs. I'll throw it on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters circumference and it wears well. The timepiece is very light, being all sapphire and titanium. It sits easily. That said, you can see it's quite broad and it's stretching out to the edge of my wrist. So I would say probably a little bit smaller, 15 centimeters circumference wrist. You can wear this watch any smaller. You're going to want to look for one of their 1941 cases, which are 39.5 millimeters in diameter. Now the watch is surprisingly slim at 13.1, so it probably will slide underneath most dress cuffs, especially with that nicely sloped bezel. Taking a look at the strap, you can see that it is a Gronefeld factory strap with round scale alligator leather on the bottom and then blue large rectangular scale on the top. You can see it's a Gronefeld factory strap in outstanding condition. The reason for gator top and bottom is simple. It lasts longer. A bit more expensive, but worth it. The buckle features a combination of satin and polish, and it is Gronefeld branded. It, like the case, is titanium. And the watch features pull-tab spring bars. You can quickly remove the strap from the case without tools. The lugs are stepped out. You can see that the bezel is all of high polish. The case band is satinated. The lugs are stepped out to give them their own form. It's not a Calatrava blended lug style aesthetic. And then we have a distinctive custom crown made for this watch. Now, the nice thing about grade 5 tie is that it is lighter than steel, but it is also harder than steel. And unlike grade 2, grade 5 can be polished nicely. Now, the dial of the watch is lovely. It's a metallic blue with several different finishes. There's a sunburst that runs around the periphery with an imaginary center point. And then we have concentric patterns inside the large seconds and then the hours and minutes. We have nameplates for Gronefeld, the brand, as well as the model, the 1 Hertz. You could see that there is an elevated scale against which you can read the seconds. And then we have a couple of applique indices that are beautifully rhodium plated for high shine on the hour and minute track. And there is a superimposed hour and minute hand right there. It's not just one. Now the watch does have a power reserve indicator. You can see it under the deadbeat seconds hand. And that power reserve indicator indicates 60 hours of power reserve when fully wound. Now the crown doesn't pull out. Instead you push it and you alternate between hacked seconds and a setting mode, or winding. That's a W, not an M. So now we're in winding mode, and you can see the power reserve indicator moves as I wind the twin mainspring barrels. You can see all of the screw heads on the dial side are black polished with chamfered slots. We have fluted Dauphine hands on the small register for hours and minutes. And when we turn the watch over, you can see, well, the case is made of titanium. The movement is made of stainless steel. The bridges are actually made of stainless steel. Why? Because it's hard to do and very few can accomplish it. This is Tim and Bart Gronefeld showing just how good they are. So they're formerly of APRP. They have an incredible horological pedigree. The bridges aren't just made out of steel. You can see they have 3 different finishes. There's a media blasting in the interior, these raised and satinated channels around the edge, and then you can see along the sides, there's mirrored anglage, so it's 3 different finishes for each bridge. The screws are the same as on the dial, black polished caps, chamfered slot, and circumference. There's satination on all of the wheels, and then there's engine turning on the base plate. You can see that the hairspring is an overcoil. It's a Phillips overcoil, so the watch will keep even time in any physical position. And the movement beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, pivots on 39 joules, and it's free sprung for durability. It is an exquisite thing to look at. And the watch has 2 different heartbeats. There is the 1 beat per second, and then you have the 6 beats per second of the conventional Swiss lever escapement. And of course, this watch is part of a limited edition of 30 pieces. And I'm not going to say exactly which serial this one is, but this 1 Hertz is a pretty good serial number. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.